The following program is recommended for those 16 and over, as it contains sporting violence, possible bad language, and flashing imagery.
This is the moment the world has been waiting for. The judges are ready, the fighters are ready, the boxing world is ready. The fight starts now! Let's go.
How do you like it? On the show. So aggressive, so focused. It all comes down to this.
Fight Night, only on DAZN.
Chris Eubank Jr and Conor Benn meet here again at the magnificent Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And after the epic first encounter, which many people consider a Fight of the Year candidate, they just had to do it again. Born rivals with plenty of bad blood spilled over the years. This isn't just for legacy, this isn't for belts or titles, this is for the name. Benn versus Eubank, one of the fiercest rivalries ever in boxing history.
Rivalry, the beating heart of every sport.
Bad blood, genuine hatred. The story is like no other.
It's belonging, it's pride, it's personal.
His dad don't even like him.
Two tribes, pushing themselves to the limit.
The Eubanks will always be better than the Benns.
The fire that refuses to go out.
I'm going to systematically beat you.
This is the pulse that drives us.
The family feud needs to be sold.
The energy that unites us.
They don't know what's coming.
And the pain that divides us. Because where there's passion, there's rivalry. And where there's rivalry, there's always bad blood.
Yeah, there's unfinished business here in North London later tonight. The Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is used to hosting North London derbies for Spurs against their bitter rivals Arsenal. But the football stadium has been transformed into an incredible boxing venue once again, as we look forward to what is set to be one of the biggest fights of the year. It's the fourth chapter of the Eubank-Benn family feud, and after Chris Eubank Sr defeated Nigel Benn back in '90, followed by that controversial draw at Old Trafford 3 years later, Conor Benn is now looking for redemption and revenge after his defeat to Chris Eubank Jr back in April. Yet we are inside the magnificent, it really is, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Tony Bellew will tell you this is the second best stadium in the country. Adi Ladipa alongside Carl Frampton and Tony Bellew. We're here again, gents. We're here again, and this time round it feels a bit different, but I think we know once those boys get in the ring, it's going to be a bit of the same again, Tony.
You were spot on. We are in the second best football stadium in the world, but it's all about the fight tonight. It's not about the location. So yes, it's one we're all looking forward to, and one that will captivate the public's imagination once again. Yeah,
it's hard not to captivate it, isn't it? I mean, not just because it has the Eubank-Benn names attached to it, right? I mean, both boys have worked their way over that. And because they delivered so good first time round, we're expecting something very good again here tonight.
Look, their names obviously play a big part in this whole story and rivalry, but what they put themselves through in that last fight, I mean, it was one of the best fights of the year, one of the best fights of the decade in a British stadium in terms of everything, the theatre. But what they done on the night surpassed all of that. Yeah. And you got to remember, these are two boys that never had to fight for anything in their life growing up. So to be able to do that and put themselves through that, I give them all the respect in the world.
Tony, the first fight had the egg slap, the press conference, the back and forth, the jibes, the bad words. It had that infamous Eubank Sr is here moment. This doesn't quite have the same type of build-up to it, does it?
It doesn't, and the reason for that solely is the fight that they've shared, the rounds that they've shared. These guys have got a common ground, respect for each other that will never ever go away. When you go through what they went through in that first fight, it just changes everything, Adi. I'm not going to lie. I know it, I've been there, I've done it.
That moment was incredible. That moment there, when Eubank Sr made a beeline and Nigel Benn kind of went into the shot. I mean, that photo right there, that image right there is never going to be forgotten.
It's iconic. Yeah. That will go down in the history of British boxing. It is unbelievable. This is the greatest rivalry British boxing has and will ever see.
Yeah, I agree.
It's been passed down through generations. That's how deep it goes. We've never seen this before, and like I've just said again, we'll never see it again. So enjoy it. I'm not going to lie, I don't think this will be the last one. I think there'll be a third. I think Conor Benn will get the job done tonight, and if he does, it has to happen for the third time because they're both going to want the definitive answer on this feud.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to predictions a bit later as well. It is the same, but I guess the two differences are, one, Brian McIntyre, Bomac being added back to Chris Eubank Jr.'s team. And I guess the second biggest difference is Conor Benn looks a bit bigger.
Yeah.
You saw it on the scales yesterday. It looks like he's put on the weight now for this one.
He looked visibly bigger, but also Chris looked like he made the weight a lot more comfortable too. Yeah, but Conor looked bigger. And I mean, he's grown into the weight. This is his second fight now at middleweight. I know he keeps talking about coming back down to 147, but I think that may be a bit of a struggle for him now. Yeah. It's just hard to get back down. You know what it's like, Tony, when you've boxed up a weight and someone says you want to get back. It's difficult, but I think both guys actually look better on the scales this time.
I think they look phenomenal. I think they're in unbelievable shape, the both of them. It's a credit to both of them. As I said, Carl touched on it before. We've been touching on it all week. I have such admiration for both these boys. We dreamed of getting to them silk pyjamas. We fought for everything we could possibly get. These boys were born in silk pyjamas, and they've chose to throw them in the bin and fight for everything that they've got. That is, as a fighter and a former world champion, I have so much admiration and respect for that, because I'm not sure I could do that.
No, there's not too many people on the planet that can do what they done on fight night. And I'm talking about all sorts of different types of athlete, but they actually stay in there and put their body on the line like that. That was a hard, grueling, brutal fight. And there's a small percentage of people that can do anything like that.
People talk about money, sorry Addy, people talk about money and that being the factor, and they're both being paid record-breaking paydays. Yeah, I get it. But when you've gone through what you've gone through in that first fight, a big question tonight, who's going to want to go back there first?
Yeah.
Because they're going to a dark place tonight. There's no two ways about it. Who's going to want to visit there first? And that could be the deciding factor for me tonight.
Yeah, I have a feeling we'll see that in the very first round. All right, it's been an interesting fight week. Eubank Sr. making an appearance at the press conference, probably stole it. Let's remind you of what it's been like. Eubank versus Benn, fight week 2.
You've got two warriors in there ready to put it on the line. You're going to see another classic fight.
It's light work. This build-up, this camp, these last 7 months have been a breeze.
Yeah, I mean, the camp's been great, to be honest. I was obviously back in the gym on the Sunday, straight after our first fight.
The job of a professional fighter is to look at your last performance, see the mistakes, see the successes, and build upon those successes and try and eliminate the mistakes. Whether it's a first round knockout or a 12-round war, Chris Eubank Jr. will defeat Conor Benn once again.
I learned a lot about Chris in the first fight. I learned about his resilience, his strength, his chin, his courage, his heart, and it took me by surprise. I didn't expect that from Chris at all.
I'm excited to go in there and just do what we know I can do.
It's safe to say that I underestimated his willpower.
I didn't think he'd be able to live with my ferocity, tenacity, spite, aggression, youth, but you know, he showed a lot to me in there that he's never shown in his career before.
A strong mind can carry a weak body, but a strong body can't carry a weak mind, you know, and it's all up here, it's all mental.
We've got to keep these guys on their toes. We don't want to come with the same game plan, the same strategy. We want to mix things up. We want to make sure that they don't know what's coming.
I can't help but respect Chris for giving me the fight he gave me, but I'd like to just say if he was a welterweight, this would be a no contest.
When you fight a man for 12 rounds non-stop, yes, there is a respect that is earned from that.
For us to be sitting here, it's legacy and it's generational. I didn't choose this life, it sort of just fell into place and here I am.
I'm going to go in there, I'm going to show the world who I am again. Who knows what will happen next? I'm here to actually protect him.
It's not about us, we've had our path, it's about Junior and Conor and the fight.
Everybody knows I love to fight, or I love fighting, it's who I am, it's in my DNA.
It doesn't affect me personally. I'm going to go out there, I'm going to do exactly what I did to you in April.
I believe this will be Chris's last fight, and I believe it's only right I give him the send-off he deserves. I'll show him the door.
All I'm thinking about is what I have to do to ensure victory and be the superior fighter that I am.
This time round, we come out victorious. This ends here.
I predict that the fight will be just as beautifully savage and exciting to watch as the first.
I'm just excited to get in there and do the business and put on a great show for the fans, for the supporters. Do not miss it. Make sure you tune in live on DAZN.
Feeling good. Everything is on track for a Chris Eubank Jr. KO win.
The first fight was a Fight of the Year contender. This fight is going to be Fight of the Decade contender.
Yes, here we are in the tunnel then at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. We're a little bit later on tonight. Chris Eubank Jr and Conor Benn will make their ring walk once again. We are live, Eddie Hearn. I'm not actually sure if you didn't realise this was a pre-record, but anyway, we keep it moving. Eddie, listen, April was an instant classic. Do you honestly believe tonight can be any better?
I really do. In the same kind of way, but a little bit different. I think now both guys know what to expect. I think Chris Eubank is trained and prepared accordingly, and Conor Benn has matured physically and emotionally, but he must improve in there as well. I mean, back in the cauldron that is Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and when you've done it before, the next time is easier. And I think that's one thing that Conor Benn probably failed to deal with last time, was the emotion, was the occasion, and I think tonight he'll be razor sharp and locked in.
Plenty of back and forth in the build-up. You had your Love Actually style cards at the press conference, generational face-offs. Enjoyed it?
Yeah, loved it. I mean, this is probably the last, well, that was probably the last ever press conference I'll do with Chris Eubank Jr, and he spanked me a couple of times, so it's nice to finally get one up on him. But it's all irrelevant. The build-up's the build-up. The whole country will be tuned in tonight live on DAZN, but all that matters is what goes down in that small little ring on the centre circle of this great stadium, and there's everything to play for. This fight is a 50-50 matchup. It comes down to who gets it right on the night.
Everything is on track for a Chris Eubank Jr KO. That was his final word at the weigh-in. What do you make of that energy?
Listen, I think he failed to really hurt Conor Benn in the fight last time, other than the closing stages of the fight, the 11th and 12th round, when Conor was kind of exhausted. So I don't worry too much about the power. I just want Conor Benn to perform as well as we know he can. He's just got to be a little bit cuter in this fight. He's got to be a little bit smarter. He hasn't got to be so emotional. And all the signs we see from him behaviourally, he's set to do that.
What will it mean to you to see that redemption tonight?
Oh, it would be unbelievable. I mean, for him, for his dad, for the whole story. Don't forget, this is the 4th Eubank-Benn fight of this incredible rivalry. They're yet to win one. So tonight, let's hope it's the night.
OK, all to play for. We're expecting plenty of famous faces later on in attendance here tonight at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And in fact, I can see a couple of local celebrities who have already made their way ringside. Gents, over to you.
Ah, stop it, Jamie. You're far too kind. Barry Jones alongside me. Barry, one of the big questions going into this rematch is temperament. Conor Benn's temperament. And can he hold his nerve? And can he hold that temperament so therefore he can do his game plan correctly?
It's a funny thing about temperament, because a calmer fighter you always think is a more thoughtful fighter, and that would seem good on the surface, but actually an angrier Ben is what he needs. He needs that aggression to get to the target quick. Now the temperament, if he can get that right, using his intelligence to get to the target quick is what he needs to do. Get A to B was his problem. When he got there, he was having success. He was getting the results that the effort deserved. But so too often he was getting caught coming forward because he wasn't throwing the jab. A simple weapon that he's used so often in contests quite effectively. He forgets it when he's being the bully, but another contest he's used it really well. I mean, Algeria uses jab fantastically well. Yeah. So he can do it, but up against a guy who probably has a better jab than you makes it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, I think we've got some shots here of a wild Conor Benn, and it's a case of keeping the shots a lot more straighter this time round.
But again, though, I think the double jab and stabbing with that front foot's important. He either does that or comes behind that low left hand of Eubank here. I think it's important to get. Once he gets there, he can throw that right hand over the top and move to his right and get on the outside of that left hand of Eubank. The thing is, he was so intent on. He knew he had to put the pressure on Eubank very, very early, get him tired quick, which is what he has to do in this fight. But he forgot to get there in the right way. That was all. But still, swinging and missing, all that emotion, adrenaline gets you at times. You can get closer, and first of all, then work away in a much smarter way.
Well, you can see the emotion there. But he did have success, Barry.
Yeah.
When he did keep to the game plan and he kept composure, he landed some very good shots.
He did, and for me, I know the left hook is shot, but that right hand over the top, especially with this fighter who has a low left hand, was a great weapon for Chris. You see it there then. Again, off the nice straight 1-2. And then with that, he's close to the target to throw that left hook and work away in the position and in the space that he needs to be. Maybe a little bit lower at times, you'd like to see him, but again, once he's in that mid-range, he lets that right hand go with conviction and belief because he knows he can hit the target. It's just getting there's the problem. So he knows he can hurt Chris, he knows he can drag Chris into the fight that he needs to be into. The younger, fresher fighter always wants to take the older, more shot-worn, technically maybe better fighter who wants to slow it down. You want to make it fight at a higher pace, at your pace. And at times in that fight, he did that with Chris, and Chris looked a little bit tired.
Incredible first contest it really was. That right hand, an absolute peach of a shot. And yeah, I mean, there's so many questions that we can't wait to be answered in this rematch. Ade, lads, back to you.
Thank you very much, gents. The VIPs in the house. Darren Barker, Barry Jones, always a great job. Can't wait to listen to you guys on commentary. Okay, gents, so they were referring and talking to us about Conor Benn. Let's have a conversation about his opponent, Chris Eubank Jr. One of the keys to Chris Eubank Jr., I guess, being victorious, at least Bomac has said this, is the jab.
Yeah.
We saw a lot of right hands from both. It was a right hand heavy fight from both. The jab being key from Eubank Jr. Did we see enough of the jab in the first fight, Tony?
We've seen a lot of missing with the jab and feints and short shots, but we didn't see any kind of force with it. It wasn't used as a weapon, it was used as a rangefinder, and he just didn't, for me, landed enough on the fight. Conor Benn was allowed to jump in pretty easily, really, and land at will. If Eubank is to have serious success, that's a fantastic uppercut he's just landed on Conor on the way in. But if he's to have real success in dictating the pace of this fight, the jab has to be used as a weapon. It's got to be a stiff round other times. You vary it. Some are sharp, some are slow, some are heavy thuds, some are just really quick hits to the face. But ultimately, that's how you control a fight with that lead hand.
What he'll want to do is slow Conor Benn down, and he'll not want to fight at the pace that he had to fight at the last time. And because of Conor Benn's ferocity and how he approaches a fight, he was forced into that. But to slow it down and to do that successfully, you need to be landing the jab. And I think Chris has got an okay jab, but he flicks it from the hip. And it's like Tony says, a rangefinder. He needs to be banging him with it, hurting him with the jab to make Conor Benn think twice about coming forward. And I think Bomac's smart enough to know that as well.
Across the board, last time round, it was 116-112, which would suggest that Chris Eubank Jr. had that in the bag going into the final round. Both men didn't know that. And because they didn't know that, Chris Eubank Jr. came out and stole, I should say, won that last round, didn't he? Quite convincingly.
Yeah, by bullying Conor Benn. And I mean, that is, you know, the whole narrative and going into this first fight was that he's struggling at the weight and he's dead at the weight, and we've seen the evidence and the footage of him in the sauna suits and stuff. These are things that we've all done, and I think he's fooled us. He's fooled me, certainly, anyway. Maybe not Big Tony, but if you're weight drained, you can't fight like that in the last round. And he put himself right through it, and he done it. So I suggest that the weight isn't the issue that Chris wants us to believe it is.
Yeah, it was a fantastic last round from Chris, though, wasn't it?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. For me, it won the fight. I had him winning by 1, and I just thought it was all in that last round. I know the judges have got it 116-112. In my opinion, it was never an 8 rounds to 4 fight. But then again, some rounds are so close, they obviously edge towards Eubank, and they give me, and that's how a fight can swing in them tiny little margins. But ultimately, the right man got the decision, Ade. And in this fight, it's not Conor Benn's first rodeo. This is his second time round. He should learn the lessons from the first fight.
All right, here we go. Show's about to get underway here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Remember, you can get involved at home as well on Fan Zone. You can debate with each other. So many polls on it as well. Let us know who you think's going to win and how you think they're going to win. But let's get this show on the road. Fantastic undercard, and Adam Smith can walk us through it. Adam.
Thanks, Addy. Welcome at ringside to Tottenham. One of the most compelling rematches of their barn-burning classic here in April. Eubank Jr. and Benn, unfinished business. Top of the bill, of course, tonight with a cracking chief support between Jack Catterall and Echo Esserman. A wonderful welterweight matchup between two of our and the world's best. Super Adam Azim, the assassin, in with the brash American Kurt Scooby. Huge puncher, but Azim, a huge sharp-shooting prospect. Should be fireworks from the heavyweights. Richard Riakporhe is up there now, the former cruiserweight star, in with the undefeated and really confident Tommy Welsh. Sam Gilley and Ishmael Davis. Some think this will be the fight of the night. Sam's a big Tottenham fan. Ishmael has won our hearts with recent performances. Should be really good. And up first of all, and what a moment for him, the young prospect Mikey Talon. A huge stage, his 11th appearance from Liverpool, in with Bradford's Fazan Shahid, who's ready for his big moment so too is this wonderful MC who we are treated to a great deal on DAZN, the superb voice of Mr. Thomas Treiber.
Live worldwide on DAZN, let's first welcome to the ring, Fazan Fizi Shahid.
I sling guns, snap any type to sleep on. Catch me in a hood with a cheap one. My gun smoke is too strong, 2 pumps. Body got found in 2 months. Snap the
Here comes the main man of Team Fizzy, and he's fizzed around us all week. The 33-year-old Fazan Shahid, promising to enjoy every minute of this occasion, and said this doesn't happen to fighters from Bradford. We remember former world champion Junior Witter, of course, from this historic West Yorkshire city, and Bobby Vanzi, a cult character too, quality domestic champion. And this is a great chance for Fazan. He's only lost 2 of 8. He looked good on the pads the other night. And as he steps up into the ring, I mean, this is memories forever.
You can't buy this. What an opportunity. Now go and grab it with both hands.
And now let's welcome to the ring, the undefeated Mikey the Omen Talon.
Is this one of the brightest little men in the boxing business? The sweetly talented Merseysider Mikey Talon, who's been steered by Tasha Jonas, who's ringside right in the front row. He's guided by Joe Gallagher, and he's rated by the central figure in global boxing. His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh is a real admirer. Mikey played his part in Vegas ahead of Canelo Crawford, and now from the lights of the desert towards his first stadium appearance. He's been mentioning that a lot this week. He's one of only 6 fights chosen. Golden chance, Barry Jones, for this 20-year-old.
Yeah, and being in a fight like this and an occasion like this can really lift you to believe that you can fight at a higher level, and also now going certainly now into his 11th contest, he'll start thinking about possible title chances down the line.
Flanked by Joe Gallagher, and Tasha taking videos at ringside. Wonderful to see such experience around this young man.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the ring. Unfinished business from Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London, England. We would first like to give a special thank you to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the custodian of the 2 holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, His Royal Highness the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, and chairman of the General Entertainment Authority and Saudi Boxing Federation, His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh. This event is being brought to you by Riyadh Season, Stella, Ring Magazine, Eddie Hearn for Matchroom Boxing, and Ben Shalom for Boxer, along with their great sponsors, Everlast, BYD, Cleans, Movember, Mr. Q Casino, and Betfred. A big thanks to those great sponsors. We get things started with 6 rounds scheduled in the flyweight division. When the bell rings, our referee in charge, and scoring the contest will be Mark Bates. Introducing first, Fighting out of the blue corner, he comes to the ring wearing white with black and weighed in officially at 112 pounds. Coming to us from Bradford, Yorkshire, England, he has a professional record consisting of 4 wins, 2 defeats, and 2 draws. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome DAZN Fizzy Shahid. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing gold, red, and blue, and weighed in officially at 111.8 pounds. Representing Champs Camp Manchester and hailing from Liverpool, England, he had a stellar amateur career and now as a professional is undefeated with 10 wins. 1 win comes by way of knockouts. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Mikey the Omen Talon.
Gentlemen, listen, when I tell you to break, you take a step back immediately. Keep your punches up, obey my commands and protect yourselves at all times. Good luck to you both, gents. Touch gloves.
Back to Britain for the Omen, Mikey Talon, watched on by the former Omen, who's just behind us, Spencer Oliver, our media colleague at TalkSport. Excellent win in America for Talon against Christian Robles, and now for his fellow countryman Fazan Shahid, who's won his last couple, and Darren has absolutely nothing to lose here.
No, he doesn't at all, but this is a really good opportunity on the flip side of Talon to really shine again and look good, and he's a classy operator, really is very technically sound. You see the sharp feet there, quick hands, and brilliant artillery as well. He's definitely one to watch, Barry.
You know, he's a really good talent. He does everything correct, doesn't he? You know, he can punch at long range, and when he gets in close, he can work inside effectively. And he has a good temperament as well for a young man who likes to compose and patient with his work.
Good footwork, decent jab, tries a couple of body shots early and combinations up close. I'm not sure Fazan Shahid has ever seen anything quite like Mikey Talon. It's difficult to match these flyweights, but Talon looks on a very positive trajectory.
It's the range I question for Shahid. Where does he fight from? You know, if he comes close, he's going to walk onto shots, but he does. If he stays at, sort of at arm's length, he's going to get picked off, so it's difficult for him. He's got to pick his moments. Head movement key, sharp feet. Try and look for mistakes from Talon, but he doesn't make many of them.
But he threw a good right hand just then, Shahid, off the jab there of Talon, and maybe that's the entry for him. Now, if he can just sort of block that jab, or even take it on the gloves, because it's not a powerful jab for Talon, then he gets that right hand into play.
Yep, getting closer there, and plenty of noise coming from the blue corner, the Bradford team. Body shot as well, they swap and exchange.
Good right hander from Talon.
And Shahid's doing exactly the right thing. You fight someone who's quicker than you and has that pedigree. Keep your hands nice and high. Don't offer any openings.
And before he threw the punch, he rolled, didn't he? That was the difference there, giving a little bit of momentum and rhythm into his work, and also makes him defensively harder to hit clean.
Out of range, though, with the hooks, and back to the jab. That stiff, wonderful orthodox jab that Mikey Talon possesses, being cheered on, almost shouted at by Tasha Jonas in that front row. A lone figure.
Be busy there later, Adam.
It will be. There's the gold jacket of Rick Reno wandering around at ringside. You'll have a good look at that a bit later. Fazan Shahid is making a go at this, but that body shot hurt him with the left hand, and a right as well from Talon. Back end of the first, and you can see the accuracy he possesses.
And this is the perfect fight here for Talon, because Shahid's making him work for everything he's doing.
Good entertaining opener to this magical night at Tottenham Hotspur.
Okay? Good.
Good, all right? Listen, you just stand there, you just stand a little bit too upright in front of him, all right? All you've got to do is keep that jab going, triggering, and as you see sometimes, if it's about to come in, then he stops short because you've stepped back. But as soon as he goes to come, you've got to nail him with a straight 1-2 down the middle because he's coming square on. And when you're throwing your right hand, you're bow and arrowing it, you're cocking it from there, nice and sharp, just sharp, boom, boom, nice and sharp, straight down the middle, but shoot low with the right hand, all right? Okay, don't overshoot it, but on the jab, and like I said, when you touch him to the body and he steps back, feint to bring his hands up and then go back downstairs, all right? There's times there you could have gone 2nd and 3 phase. You know he's got to throw a shot and anger, but just don't be silly getting caught with anything on the way in, all right? Showed him too much respect that round, Micah.
What a corner, Joe Gallagher, Russ Amber. Legendary cuts man who works with Alexander Usyk, and there's a legend of British boxing, Miss GB, the wonderful Tasha Jonas, steering Mikey Talon, this 20-year-old in the predominantly gold trunks with the red and blue from Liverpool, trying to notch up his 11th straight professional win. Had a good start, but he's tough, this Fazan Shahid, and he's giving it a real go. He's doing what he can.
Yeah, he is, and I did think this before this fight, the record, he's better than his record suggests, Shahid. You know, he's got nice high guard, he can punch a little bit, he's never been stopped. But Talon, just Joe Gallagher there, just saying he showed a bit too much respect in that opening round, and that's what I'd like to see him do. No need to take silly risks early, but just get into your flow.
Good body shots from Talon again. Shahid's got 4 victories on the slate, but he's been on the small hall shows. He's 33, and Talon, well, he's been guided for the big time, but Shahid is competitive here, and that's great to see, Barry.
Yeah, it is, and he's doing really well here. He's not winning the rounds here. Talon's just ability a little bit sharper, and like the way he's putting his punches together here. Talon's a lovely right hand. That right hand's his best weapon. Talon really is. Everything's behind the jab, but when he threw that good body shot, where you mentioned, he threw a right hand after it, which was a better shot.
There's the doubling up with the jab and the left hook. He's got the classier moves. But Shahid, I watched him in the workouts. You can't learn much in the week, but he was throwing his shots really well on the pads, and he's looking very tough, and he's standing right in front of Talon. He's not as talented, but he's game.
Yeah, I agree with you. He looked capable, didn't he, at the workout? You could see he had a good shape about it, and there was one that hurt him there, body shot.
Yep, these body shots beginning to have an effect, surely, on Shahid, who's been really tough and brave.
And he's not digging them in, he's ripping them across, and that's where they're catching him on. There's a good right-hander there for Shahid. Again, always firing back. He's more than just tough, he's technically pretty good.
Barry, it's a good little fight, this, isn't it?
I think for Talon, who's no 10-0, this is the sort of fight that he needs, a competitive fight. I think he's a guy who knows how to shape up, who knows how to throw his punches with pretty good timing, and also the age. He's in his 30s, he's physically mature, and so Talon won't be able to bully him like he maybe could have, a younger, fresher fighter.
On what platform, though, flip it to Shahid again. An opportunity to rip up the script and, get a notch under your belt like this. He's going to give it absolutely everything, and rightly so.
It's not good from Talon, though. He's not panicking. Everything's working for him, but he's not losing his shape. He's still working behind the jab.
Good work with the left hand, and that again gets through the guard of this very brave Fazan Shahid, who's trying his best in there, and it's great to see. Well, it's not just boxing we have on DAZN for you.
Watch the National League on DAZN and follow your club all season long, because it's not just a game, it's your badge. Witness heart, passion and pride with every game live or on demand. 1-0 up or 2-0 down. Home or away, it's on. Plus action from the North and South Leagues. Watch on DAZN and follow your club.
National League on DAZN, and don't forget, for those of you watching on YouTube, remember to scan your QR code so you join us on the app on DAZN for the full night here. There are fantastic fights, all building up to the big one. The rematch we've all been waiting for. Eubank Jr. Benn in a few hours' time. But these two are right down to business, and they're trying to make their own dreams come true. Mikey Talon from Liverpool, Fazan Shahid from Bradford. Talon, Darren, is winning the rounds, but he's winning them hard.
Yeah, it's competitive, and I'm so glad to see Shahid really give this everything. You know, we've spoken about the opportunity here for him and what doors it can open. Even in defeat, you know, you give a good account of yourself. I'm sure you get matched again on a big card, but Talon, he's a really, really good fighter. When he goes through the gears, looks a real class act.
Yep, Lee Jones, ABC. He's registered at the club, lives near the gym on Vauxhall Road during the days at the Champs Camp with Joe Gallagher. He's got relatives in boxing. He was always going to punch for pay, the 20-year-old, but this 33-year-old, Fazan Shahid, is trying everything he knows in there. He's in no way phased, trying to get out of the way of that jab with the right hand, and really nice work from Talon.
Yeah, looks physically strong, doesn't he, Shahid? He's got 13 years on Talon, so there's that maturity there, but we've already seen now that right hand again, really working a treat, looking for it over the jab of Shahid. Nice jab, though.
Well, he gets low, Shahid, quite effectively. That's the shot there, but you got to land with that jab to the body before he throws that right hand over the top. And I think that's his way in. That's his way to just to take the confidence away from the jab of Talon, which is working quite well. A bit more weight on the jab I'd like to see from Talon, maybe stepping a little bit with it, but it's still an effective weapon. That's, if he's not setting up his combinations, he's making Shahid just reset a little bit.
That was better, exactly what he said there. He stepped in, didn't he, behind the double jab, and that allowed him to find the right uppercut.
But back comes Shahid as well. Blood from both of their noses in the third round here. It's that spearing jab of Talon that keeps pumping out.
I'd just like to see him move his upper body just a little bit more, Talon. Not too much, because he punches from a foot, a shape where he needs to keep his shoulders square, but just a little bit of a dip now and again.
Barry, that's exactly what Joe Gallagher pulled him up just ever so slightly for at the end of the first round. Upright, just relax the shoulders a little more.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, yeah, a little bit, but not too much, because you want to be punching from that sort of height. But just a little roll now and again. If anything, just gives Shahid a target to, like, he has to zone in it rather than just know where it is.
Lovely body shot from Talon, but a right back from Shahid, and then he walks into a left hook. Good action here in the first fight of the night between Mikey Talon and Fazan Shahid, who's taking his opportunity under the lights. It's great to see. And the celebrities are out in force. We've got one who's quite close to the boxing business. He's with Jamie.
With Mr. Ollie Mers here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Ollie, you've been a close friend of Sam Gillies for a number of years now. What an opportunity for him tonight to win that British title.
Huge, really exciting time for us all. You know, he's worked really hard the last 11 years to make this dream a possibility, and all he's ever wanted from the moment he started boxing was the British title, so it's here tonight.
How are your nerves as a friend when you watch him ringside?
Well, every year, every fight we go to, it just gets a little bit harder, because you know, we know that the levels got higher, and it comes down to really small percentages. So I'm nervous for him, but I know that he's prepared mentally and physically for this fight. So yeah, I can't wait.
I know you're a Man United fan, just finally, but a night to remember, hopefully, for you all at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Yeah, no, you know, I said that to him coming to today. I'm a Spurs fan with you, so I hope it all goes well, and I'm sure it's going to be a great night and a great fight.
Top man, Ollie, enjoy.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks, Jamie. Great to see Ollie Mers. I was sitting in front of him at the press conference the other night, and all the team were dressed impeccably in their blue. There were loads of them in the Tottenham jackets. It's a great night for Sam Gillies, isn't it?
It really is. He said all the right words. I think it was at the media workout. This is my city. I'm not going to let this opportunity slip. And Ollie Mers, he come on the platform. He was a lovely guy.
My best mate, didn't he?
Lovely guy.
Oh,
yeah, Barry knew BFF.
And he could fight a bit, I'm told.
And passionate about the sport as well. He knew his boxing.
He can't fight. Ridiculous. He can sing a little bit.
You can't with your right hand at the moment.
Oh, well, let's not go on about this now. I can fight you, though. That's the main thing.
Good body shot there from Fizzy. You missed that, Barry. Wow.
I saw it. It was a lovely little left uppercut there. But, I mean, I think he needs to have the pace here. No, you're allowing the technically better fighter, not by a lot, but by enough, to box at his pace, and that's Talon. So you've got to rush him, especially because he's younger. Make him rush his work. Drag him into a bit, use that physicality, as Darren mentioned, and it'll make it a bit more physical. But you've got to just put a bit more pressure on him.
Yeah, a few feints there from Talon as well. I'd like to see him punch off of those. And sometimes we're talking about standing upright. Certainly after he throws shots, he at times, and you can get the habit of doing this, admiring your own work. So make sure you move your head or your feet after you've let your shots go. Don't be there to get caught, but an awful lot to work with.
Yeah, 5th fight of the year as well for the 20-year-old. He's keeping busy. DAZN Shahid coming off a victory in February over Stephen Maguire. He lost to Maguire early in his career, but he got revenge. So he's not been active, but he's been active enough tonight. He stood right in front of Talon, gloves high, trying to poke out shots where he can. Plenty of courage, and that's a lovely one on the inside from Talon, and back to the jab. He does a great deal well.
Yeah, do you know what? There's good variation with that lead hand. He'll sort of push off with it, he'll stab it to head and body quick, and he'll feint. A lot of work with that lead hand is very impressive.
The slip of the shoulder before Talon threw that left hand was lovely. Just dipped inside, just a little turn. Again, just relaxing the shoulders, a little bit more upper body movement, then allowing to slip inside punches, and gives you more confidence to be a little bit more forceful.
Exactly what you were asking for, and Joe Gallagher, and he's beginning to flow now here. Mikey Talon, a right hand back from Shahid, a reminder, but you feel Talon's going up the gears. He switches to southpaw, and again trying to befuddle, confuse Fizzy, who is right in front of him and winging from the hip. I mean, it's a brilliant effort, this, from the Bradford boy.
Conor Benn-esque, that was, wasn't it?
Fizzy's got a bit of pop in his shots.
He's good, I like him. I think he's good. I think he's a handful. I did get that Darren very well. It was really funny. You get a laugh a minute, you had, honestly.
All the time, yeah? Brilliant. All right. Box very well then again, Mikey. All the time they're just looking for an overhand right, okay? Listen, sometimes you're standing and you're just giving a little bit too much rest. That's what I'm saying. That jab, that 1-2, jab, heel jab, slip, right hand, your jab, heel right hook, catch, hook, your jab, and that's the way the tempo's got to go. And all of a sudden he'll go, I can't do this, and he'll take a knee or whatever he does, but he's on the verge now of like, Joe, I've given my best, and you can't allow him get away.
I love listening to Joe Gallagher, legendary trainer. He lives and breathes the passion that comes out of it, and the wisdom as well. He might just feel that DAZN Shahid has given everything, and you don't know, he could hold on the 6 rounds, but it's a good mental thing to say to Mikey in there.
Yeah, some really good highlights there. There was a good body shot that went in from Shahid, but yeah, having someone like Joe Gallagher in your corner to give you those precise, accurate, important instructions in the ring, so important. I mean, look, and outside of the ring, camps, etc. I said that in the previous round. So much to work with for Joe Gallagher when it comes to talent. A really, really good, talented fighter.
I thought you said too much, to be honest. No, I mean, I understand what I do understand what he's saying. He's pretty much saying, be first, but block and counter off it. Every time he throws, take the shot on the gloves, make him pay for it. And then that'll break his heart. And I don't know whether that will, but it's not a bad tactic.
Never been stopped, Shahid, but never stopped anyone as well. And only one KO on the record for Mikey Talon. I knew he'd one in there. Barry Jones, the former
big
world
hitting man from Cardiff.
That's it.
He's boxing well here, Talon, to be fair.
He's boxing really well this round now.
It's that lead hand, Adam, again. You know, just measuring the distance with that shot. And that will help you, you know, obviously find the range for that right hand.
Oh, that's what he's like. Lovely bit of work.
And punch off of it. Once you get that reaction from your opponent after a feint, it's so important to counter.
Just beginning to hold a bit more now, Shahid. It's getting harder for him in there. These jabs, the uppercuts, the right hands, the precision from the fists of Mikey Talon, who's a good amateur and looking to remain undefeated as a pro. He hasn't lost a round here, but they've all been fairly competitive and tough, and that's credit to Shahid. But will his resistance break?
Up until now, this round is Quite big here for Talon so far. A lovely body shot again there from Talon. Again, just letting those combinations go. Not loading up, nice and smooth, but the distance is right for him.
And these body shots again getting through. Just feel he's in a spot of bother here, Shahid.
He's increased the tempo.
Oh, lovely left it there, a little dip on the shoulder.
Good work here from Mikey Talon. Referee Mark Banks might just have a slightly closer look because he won't want Shahid taking too much, but he's been ever so competitive as long as he has. But the legs barrier beginning to dip.
Yeah, Talon's just increased the tempo, hasn't he? He's taken charge of the pace, but he just increased the tempo this last round and a half.
He's really brave, isn't he, Shahid? But he's being outclassed here, and this is the most one-sided round of the fight. And that's good to see from Mikey Talon in the 5th. Body shot. Really good work from the man from Merseyside.
He needs a half a step back here, Talon. Throw the half a step back, and then that shot. Whoa.
Wonderful shot. And that might be enough for Team Fizzy. He looks exhausted. He may not even make the count. Mikey Talon will win this by stoppage. What a fantastic 5th round it was for Talon. What an ending. And he is 11-0. And that got better and better, which is the mark of a fighter progressing beautifully.
Absolutely, what a performance. You know, he was in there with somebody who was game and really came to win, and Shahid, but that right uppercut was an absolute peach of a shot, and he was patient. He upped the tempo, Barry, didn't he? And when he found the accuracy, that opening, he took it.
And when he upped the tempo, I think his rhythm was better and his pace was better for him. But certainly, he didn't load up with that shot. That was just proper turning of the body, that was. It was a shot that Shahid didn't see. But also, when he turns into the shot, he gets all the muscles in the back of his body into play without doing. Let's see, he doesn't load up. He just turns beautifully into the shot. He doesn't see it because he's putting him under pressure, pushing him back with those long straight shots. That's a great shot.
Stunning. That is stunning. What a shot! And he's worked for that. He set that trap up lovely, and it's so nice to see him and Joe Gallagher at the end. School never ends.
But that, how smooth
I love that. I exactly thought the same thing. The education, he was going through it again. That was a world-class uppercut. It was a combination on the back of a terrific 5th round. The 4 before he'd won, and hats off to Fazan Shahid for the part he played in it. He couldn't get through, he stopped for the first time, and I think we are looking at somebody who can really go places. His Excellency knows boxing.
He does, and he's picked a very good fighter to follow there in Mikey Talon. I'm telling you, the man's got a very bright future. So much to work with. The speed, the accuracy, the artillery, the setting of the traps, the patience as well that he showed in that fight. Very, very impressive.
Teacher, student, and outside the ropes. She's still a fighter, Natasha Jonas. And well done to this man. Good effort from Fazan Shahid, but Mikey Talon with his 2nd stoppage victory. The countdown to unfinished business well and truly on tonight. Eubank Jr. Ben renewing their epic rivalry only on DAZN. If you haven't purchased already, head to DAZN.com/boxing now to be part of the history.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 3 minutes, 6 seconds of round number 5. Your winner by way of knockout and still undefeated, Mikey the Omen Talon.
The gold, and another golden performance from Mikey Talon, undefeated now in 11. He's only 20. He's got a very, very bright future.
Looks very good, doesn't he? A knockout start to proceedings here tonight. That's what we like to see. And Carl, we've been speaking about this young man for quite a while, and he would have always wanted to know that he needs knockouts on the record. Ultimately, you need wins, and he's got wins. But only one knockout on the record. That's something he wants to improve. and now he's sitting on the shots, looks a bit bigger at the flyweight division. We're starting to see that.
Of course, but look, he is only a flyweight, and typically they don't knock people out in the early stages of their career when they're fighting 4 and 6 rounders. As they get the 8, 10, 12, and you've done a little bit more damage, then you can start to take them out. But that was a great knockout. Like, he was really, really hurt there. Lovely uppercut as well. And he's got some rounds in the bank too, so he knocked them out right at the end of the fight. So, I mean, a very good performance and something that him and his team will be very happy with.
Liverpool's always been a hotbed for boxers, right? It's always found someone. Have we found another one?
He's quality. Technically very good. Offense and defense pretty good as well. He's well balanced. I thought that knockout shot was Nassim Hamed-esque. It reminded me of the knockout victory against Tom Boom Boom Johnson back in the day. I'm going way back now, but he was brilliant tonight. Fair play to him. He's just got to remain busy and active now. With this kind of fights, you want to be out again, you know, hopefully just after Christmas, just before, but you want to be busy and active.
Yeah, fantastic start to proceedings here tonight. The crowd starting to make their way in as well. So it's such a big stadium. It probably feels like a few hundreds, a few thousand in here already. Remember, if you are watching this on YouTube, that's it for you. You have to scan the QR code to make sure you can still be watching all the boxing here tonight. And you don't want to miss the fight we've got coming up. It really is a good fight in the 154-pound division. Many are saying this could be fight of the night. Sam Gilly versus Ishmael Davis. Vacant Commonwealth and British titles up for grabs in this one. That's coming up next. Make sure you stay tuned and locked in.
DAZN, the undisputed global home of boxing. Over